What's up, everybody? This is Antonio here bringing you another episode in the series of how many shares of a certain company do you need to own to make $1,000 a month, $100 a month, and even $100 a week. So in these episodes, I do pull up the companies you guys do want me to cover. In this episode, we will be going over IVR, which we'll pull it up on Seeking Alpha, look at the company profile, look at the charts, and look at the performance. We'll pull up the dividend scorecard, look at a dividend summary information, then we'll pull up the calculator, crunch those numbers to see how much of the stock would you have to own, or how much would you have to have invested to make $1,000 a month, $100 a month, and also $100 a week. And then we'll wrap it up by looking at the dividend yield, kind of showing us if currently is the best opportunity to start investing in this company or ETF, or in the past it was. So let's go ahead and get started. If there is a company you do want me to cover that I haven't covered in the past, let me know. I'll be happy to add it to the list and we'll eventually get to it. But let's go ahead and jump over to Seeking Alpha. Alright guys, so you'll see Seeking Alpha, we have IVR, Invesco Mortgage Capital Inc, currently trading about $7.78. If we do pull them up on the company profile, we can read a little bit about them. So Invesco Mortgage Capital Inc operates as a real estate investment trust. So it's a REIT that primarily focuses on investing in financing and managing mortgage-backed securities and other mortgage-related assets. It invests in residential mortgage-backed securities and commercial mortgage-backed securities that are guaranteed by a U.S. government agency or federal chartered corporation, RMBC and CMBS, that are not issued or guaranteed by a U.S. government agency or federal chartered corporation, credit risk transfer securities that are unsecured obligations issued by government sponsored enterprises. If we are looking at the sector, they are in the financial sector. Industry is mortgage REITs. Employees is not showing anything, but they were founded back in 2008. And then if you want to look a little bit more on what they do, you could go to their website, which is invescomortgagecapital.com. So if we pull up the charts here, guys, you'll see that on the year to date, they are actually down by 40.88%. On the 1 year, they are down 35.27%. 5 year, they are down 94.86%. Horrible return right there. Back in around, looks like 2020 is when this crashed all the way from $176 all the way to roughly trading around $7. Huge drop there. 10-year performance is 94.88% in the red. So horrible return. And then total, since they've been I guess publicly traded, or as far as this goes, they were starting off around $200, so not the best return there. A company that I potentially would probably stay away from. And then if we look at the 52-week range, you'll see that the 52-week low is actually $6.34, and then the 52-week high has been $15.56. They are trading closer to the 52-week low. EPS is 5.48. PE is a 1.42, and then dividend rate is $1.60. On the yield, they do have a roughly high dividend yield, which is a 20.57%. Market cap is very small, 369.75 million market cap for this REIT. If we pull up the dividend scorecard, we can kind of read a little bit about them, or I guess not read about them, but look at the dividend summary. Again, they are in the financial sector. It said that they were a REIT, but on the dividend yield, this is a huge dividend yield of 20.57%. Very risky. I typically like my dividend yields anything below a 3%. Sometimes I could go up to about a 4% dividend yield, but I like to grow these dividend yields over time from dividend raises and just continuing to reinvest. But if we look at the annual payout, here is a $1.60. So for each share that you do own, you'd get $1.60 annually. Payout ratio is 31.25%. 5-year kicker is actually in the negative, and then there's no growth. They do pay out quarterly, which they pay you out 40 cents quarterly, and definitely concerning here on the dividend yield as well. The capital appreciation on the stock, you would be down about 94% if you had invested back in 2009 or so. But anyways, guys, let's pull up the calculator. We can crunch some numbers here. Let's go ahead and find out how much of this company would you have to have invested to make $1,000 a month. So we want to make $1,000 a month. There is 12 months in a year, so annually you do need to make $12,000. If you take those 12,000 divided by the annual payout, which is $1.60, you will see that we actually just need about 7,500 shares. If we take those 7,500 shares, multiply it times the current share price, which is $7.78, this will actually give you the total amount of money you'd have to have invested to make roughly $1,000 a month, assuming they do not cut that dividend. But you'd only need about $58,350, which again, this could go to zero depending on the company, and you guys can see the old performance from it, so not very good there. But anyways, a quick way you can actually calculate this is take the 12,000 you need to make annually divided by the dividend yield, which is at 20.57%. So we'll do that, and then you'll see that we roughly have about $58,337 is what you'd have to have invested. So pretty short, I guess close estimate there. Let's go ahead and do the next one, which is $100 every single month. This one's a lot more achievable because you do require a lot less capital. You could actually take the previous answer divided by 10 and you'd actually get that. But since we do have the calculator, let's crunch those numbers so people that are interested in seeing the math behind that, we can do that. So we do want to make $100 every single month. There's 12 months in a year, so we need to make $1,200 annually. Then if you divide that by the $1.60, this will give you the total number of shares that you do need to own to achieve this, which is 750 shares. Then all we have to do is multiply it times the current share price, which is $7.78, which gives you about $5,835 that you have to invest at the current share price, and you'd be roughly making about $100 a month. One thing again is, of course, if they do not cut the dividend. A quick way to calculate this is take the 1,200 divided by the dividend yield, and that is also going to give you about $5,800 or so. Let's go ahead and do the last one, guys, which is $100 every single week. This one is very, very cool. Imagine getting $100 every single week. Of course, they do pay out quarterly, so you'd have to like budget all of that to be about a week, $100 every single week. But let's go ahead and do that. So $100 we want to make every single week. There is 52 weeks in a year, so annually we do need to make $5,200. So if you take that divided by the annual payout, this would give you the total number of shares that you do need to own to achieve this, which is 3,250 shares we need to do. So if we multiply that times the current share price, which is $7.78, you'll see that we would have to have invested about $25,285. A quick way to do this again is take the 5,200 you need to make annually divided by the dividend yield, and you'll see we roughly get about $25,279 that you have to have invested in this. But again, very concerning dividend yield, horrible performance. Let's go ahead and wrap up this video by looking at the dividend yield for this company. Alright guys, so we have the dividend yield here. You'll see that this is the dividend yield. It'll fluctuate over time. Back in 2020, this thing had a dividend yield of almost a 50%. I think it actually goes way higher than this, about 65%, almost 75%, close to 100%. And then I guess they cut the dividend, and it's been fluctuating about 20 to 30%. So not the best performance here for me. Definitely would stick away from this company. I would not invest in this one, but if you are, let me know in the comment section that you are and why, the reasons that you're investing investing in it? Do you think the dividend yield is safe? And yeah, this is actually all I have for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe with that notification. Help me reach that 20,000 subscriber mark. Definitely would appreciate it as well. If you wouldn't mind dropping a big thumbs up, helps out the channel, goes a long way. Definitely appreciate it. And let me know any other companies you guys want me to cover in the future. Be happy to add those to the list. We'll eventually get to them. But I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Stay safe out there. Bye, guys.